Phoenix Lady here. In Part 1, I shared Article 1 of the Constitution of the Union of Philadelphia. This article covered the powers vested in the individual citizen and the derivative levels of governance, the Executors Guild, the Counselors Guild, and the Arbiters Guild, the requirements for citizenship, and the dispute resolution process to enable citizens to work together peaceably. The intent here is to define citizenship as being only for those willing to act in an adult manner. Today, I'll share Articles 2 through 6. Article 2, Section 1. All financial transactions involving two citizens may be recorded as contracts by mutual agreement of the parties to the contract. All such transactions involving more than two citizens shall be recorded as contracts. All payment for goods and services shall be in gold or other specie, or in notes redeemable in gold or other specie, at rates agreed to by all parties to any given transaction. The value of an ounce of gold shall be set by the market, and the value of all other species shall be set by the market in relation to the value of gold. The Arbiters Guild shall be responsible for maintaining standard weights and the records of all contracts in the counties or states in which they are settled. Coinage shall be handled under the direction of the Arbiters Guild, with input from any citizen or group of citizens desiring such, to include submission of designs, requests for specific weights for coins, or redemption of notes for equivalent gold or other specie. Any and all notes printed to substitute for gold or other specie shall state plainly that they are fully redeemable for the stated quantity of gold or other specie, and shall be redeemable on presentation to the issuing organization. On pain of arbitration, such organization must maintain reserves of gold or other specie sufficient to redeem all outstanding notes. For purposes of this section, the term note may be defined as physical or electronic. Every effort shall be made by the issuing organization to prevent counterfeiting of its notes, and the issuing organization shall be authorized to take anyone it finds guilty of counterfeiting to arbitration at the next higher level of derivative governing authority. Any coin of any weight or specie may be submitted to the Arbiters Guild by any citizen or group of citizens for verification of weight and purity at any time. Anyone found to have caused debasement of the currency shall be taken to arbitration for resolution of the dispute with those he or she has defrauded. Failure by any party to a contract to execute his or her responsibilities as specified shall be subject to arbitration. Any person or group found to have defrauded any other citizen or group of citizens shall, on acceptance of reconciliation, work out an agreement to compensate the citizens who are party to the dispute out of the defendant or defendant's personal wealth and or through repayment during a term as ward of charity. Only when the injured parties have been fully recompensed and the defendant or defendants have completed recertification for citizenship shall the defendant or defendants again be issued a certificate of citizenship. Should a defendant or defendants refuse reconciliation, at the arbiter's discretion, said defendant or defendants may be sentenced to permanent exile or to the sword. In either case, the wealth of said defendant or defendants shall be dispersed to the plaintiffs by the Arbiters Guild to settle all just debts or claims. Any remaining wealth shall be returned to the defendant or defendants on exile as gold or other specie, or to the closest relevant relative who is a citizen on death by execution. Compensation for work done by executors, counselors, or arbiters in the execution of their responsibilities shall be set during the negotiation of their contracts with the citizen or group of citizens who have requested their service. Executors, counselors, and arbiters are to consider themselves as much under the golden rule as any other citizen, and as liable to being taken to arbitration should they treat any other citizen or ward of charity with disrespect. Section 2. The Union of Philadelphia shall, as a whole, have no authority to raise revenue through any means that imply coercion, nor shall any lower levels of derivative governing authority. However, any group of citizens may request dues or subscriptions of citizens or groups of citizens desiring to become members of the group, and these shall be specified in membership contracts agreed to by all parties. Groups of citizens may also raise revenue through sale of goods and services to citizens and other groups of citizens, both within and outside the groups making the sales. Section 3. All land not claimed as a freehold by a citizen or group of citizens shall be held in trust by the Arbiters Guild of the county or counties of which it is a part. Any citizen or group of citizens may purchase any part or all of it on negotiation of a contract agreeable to all parties. Ownership of any real property shall be determined using all extant records recorded from the time of original settlement under the previous regimes of the United States of America and, or, if applicable, any other national claimant. Property previously managed by any department of the United States, such as Interior, through the Bureau of Land Management, the National Park Service, or any other department, shall be held in trust by the Arbiters Guild of the county or counties of which it is a part. Section 4. All Native American tribal lands previously designated as reservations shall now be considered counties for purposes of this Constitution, with the same rights, privileges, and responsibilities as any other county, including the right to affiliate with a state of choice within the Union of Philadelphia, or the right to change state affiliation or to disaffiliate from the Union of Philadelphia. Section 5. The principles of this article may not be amended. Article 3. Section 1. Full faith and credit shall be given at all levels of derivative governing authority to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of all other levels of derivative governing authority. Section 2. New counties may be admitted into this union by ratification of this Constitution by 3/4 of the residents of said county after a period of 6 months during which all residents shall be required to demonstrate the competencies required for citizenship and receive certificates of citizenship or become wards of charity with guardians selected by the Arbiters Guild. Counties may then determine if they wish to become part of an existing state contiguous with at least one border, or become part of a new state with one or more other counties being admitted at the same or similar time. If neither option is available on admission, the county may remain unaffiliated from any state until such time as one or both options become available. Affiliation agreements between counties and states will be subject to review once every 5 years and may be renegotiated, extended, or terminated, in which case the county may, if contiguous with another state along at least one border, choose to negotiate affiliation with the second state. Section 3. Should a county or counties determine that it no longer wishes to be affiliated with the Union of Philadelphia by a vote of 3/4 of its residents, all citizens who wish to continue as citizens of the Union of Philadelphia must leave the county or counties within 3 months, after which the county or counties shall be staked as foreign territory, containing exiles with no right of return, until and unless 3/4 of the remaining residents of that county or counties shall petition the Arbiters Guild of the state or states within which they exist to again become part of the Union. Section 4. Any section of this article may be amended only by the Arbiters Guild upon determination by the Guild as a whole on behalf of the citizens of Philadelphia that amendment is required to better enable the citizens of the Union of Philadelphia to achieve their goals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Article 4. Section 1. All interactions with foreign territories on the American continent shall take place at fortified checkpoints on major transit routes. All other transit corridors shall be cut at the border. Residents of the foreign territory risk death by citizens acting in self-defense if they leave their territory by any but established checkpoints. As exiles, they will be unable to engage in commerce beyond the free trade zones at the checkpoints. If they wish to travel to any other foreign territory and must pass through counties which are part of the Union to reach their destination, they must do so under escort by units of the militia. All interactions with foreign territories not contiguous with the Union of Philadelphia shall take place at designated sea and airports within fortified checkpoints. Attempts to enter the territory held by the member counties and states of the Union of Philadelphia anywhere other than at these checkpoints will be met by force by units of the militia acting in defense of self and others. Section 2. Any resident of any foreign territory who wishes to become a citizen may so request at a port of entry. Such resident of foreign territory must spend a minimum of 6 months as a ward of charity while following the path to citizenship. Well, once a candidate has successfully demonstrated full competency in all required areas of knowledge and skill, the candidate shall be enrolled as a citizen with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereof. Section 3. Any citizen or group of citizens seeking trade beyond the defined borders of the Union of Philadelphia shall do so at their own risk. In addition, they shall have no expectation of rescue by the militia of the Union of Philadelphia, should the residents of any foreign territory take offense and subject them to local laws and punishments. Section 4. Upon ratification of an agreement designating a seventh-level derivative governing authority by nations agreeing to the principles of this Constitution, particularly Articles 1 and 2, but wishing to maintain their own national identities, languages, and cultures within the limits of the Golden Rule, all citizens of the member nations, upon presentation of their certificates of citizenship, shall be accorded all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of the citizen of the Union of Philadelphia. Section 5. Any section of this article may be amended only by the Arbiters Guild upon determination by the Guild as a whole that amendment is required to better enable the citizens of the Union of Philadelphia to achieve their goals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Article 5. This Constitution shall be considered the supreme law of the Union of Philadelphia. All citizens shall consider themselves bound by their oaths or affirmations to preserve, protect, and defend it on pain of arbitration as detailed above. Article 6. The ratification of this Constitution by 3/4 of the residents of 3/4 of the counties of each of 3/4 of the states participating in this convention shall be sufficient for establishment of this Constitution between the counties and states so ratifying the same. Following ratification of this Constitution, all residents over the age of 17 and a half in any county having so ratified this Constitution shall have 6 calendar months to complete the path to citizenship and prove competency in all areas listed in Section 3 of Article 1. Those who choose not to follow the path to citizenship or accept status as ward of charity must leave the territory held by the ratifying counties within the same 6 calendar months or be taken to arbitration. Residents who continue to refuse reconciliation will be sentenced to exile with no right of return and escorted to a checkpoint on the defined border of the Union of Philadelphia with foreign territory. Done in convention by the unanimous consent of the counties of the several states represented and present this blank day of blank in the year blank of the old order and of the independence of the United States of America, the 200 and blank, and year 1 of our compact with reality, as each of us shall accept it and our places in it, in witness that whereof we have hereunto subscribed our names. Have at it, folks. Just remember, the ultimate storyteller is in complete control. I'm just executing a task he set before me. History is his story. Phoenix Lady out.